and to other great democracies.
I have to answer your question on bad eggs. There are bad eggs everywhere. Like the saying goes, out of every 12 is a Judas. But if you come to a country and you find out of every 12, 10 Judases.
Did you meet 10 Judases?
Something has gone wrong.
Something
has gone wrong in that country. So bad eggs do bad things that are aberrations in their country. But in Nigeria, the bad eggs dominate the system. And the works of the bad eggs are not aberrations anymore. They are normality. In the U.S.,
they appear to be
no. In Nigeria, they are normal. In the U.S., for example, if you search through the police system, one policeman in 100 might take bribe from you. And then,
why would such a policeman exist?
And then to the society, it's outrageous. He's severely punished. In Nigeria, 99% of the policemen will take bribe from you. And the society will say, now policemen, now as then they do. It's a normality. So that's the problem with Nigeria. What is intolerable in other countries are tolerable, accepted as norm in Nigeria. That's the problem.
I think the challenge I want to diagnose, the challenge you have is overgeneralization. When you meet one Judas,
yes,
you call the rest of disciples Judas.
Okay.
And that is your challenge. This is a country that is biggest in Africa and has the highest foreign direct investment. You cannot countenance
biggest,
that. Cannot discountenance that.
Okay.
This is one of the fastest growing economies. One of the fastest growing economies in the world.
Okay, gentlemen,
so these are incontrovertible facts.
Let's just take a moment.
Let's
take a moment. We'll come back and continue. We're looking at education, politics, leadership, economy, health.
Power,
okay,
poverty eradication,
we'll come
health,
back. We will come back. We will come back to this. We'll come back to. We do have some comments that have come in, quite a number of them. Service Police says, is Nigeria going anywhere? Going somewhere is a function of a decided destination. Nigeria has got no national plan. He says, Nigeria is a reactive state and not a proactive one. India has promised us more Indian CEOs heading top multinationals. There is a plan. Ikweba Christopher says, can greatness be powered by 5,000 megawatts of electricity? If so, Nigeria is on course to greatness. Shetima says, with ministerial list just released on the eve of October 1st, we are surely on course. Paul Chukuka, please help me ask your guests with the glasses that anybody outside Nigeria is international, so anybody can bring statistics, so he says. Misty Ahmed says, Nigeria was poor, Nigeria is now fair, Nigeria will get better. Mr. Tochukwu notes that the future is part of our life. Nigeria 55. Ekomobong Ukbong says, Nigeria's problems can be solved internally by Nigerians. Our president should stop running abroad. Wale, finally, before we go on break, this man reading out negative statistics on Face Off needs to take a chill pill. I don't agree we are that bad.
I cannot agree. Nobody can agree with you.
Okay, we'll take a moment and come back for this conversation. Please don't go away. Okay, we have some other ones that have come in. Wale says leadership is key, really, and on that I agree with Mr. Tochukwu. Chris Jato says, please ask the man on your left if he's in this country. He's arguing blindly. He should name the best university in Nigeria. Well, Fred, you have to answer that. No, Shama too says the legal practitioner should improve his argument. He's only raising his voice without making any point. Donuel says a country that embraced democracy in defeating the incumbent and concession of the incumbent is definitely on course for greatness.
If you want me to name universities that are good in Nigeria, that will amount to patronizing such universities.
Good by what standards?
I'm coming. That are centers of learning, citadels of excellence in Africa. I do not want elaborate statistics where you say the world over, because I have traveled to some countries where the so-called university amounts to not bigger than a secondary school in Nigeria. And then when they now begin to reel out statistics, they reel out statistics that they are the best. These are doctored, foreign media doctored statistics. And that is why I want us to come down. Let us come home and look at Nigeria
Institute statistics
in the past 55 years.
But
and then going forward.
I think there's a danger in somebody trying to analyze his own self. Nigerians can never objectively assess Nigeria. So it's very important that they leave this assessment, if it will be at all objective in any way, to foreigners.
It is important that the foreigners are not taking sides.
You can only, you're a lawyer, and you can't
down.
defend yourself in court because you'll be so emotionally attached to the case that you cannot be objective.
Who are assessing you are not being biased against
when
you.
They are neutral
and when they are biased
and universally
you cannot
respected international organizations, then you accept their statistics.
All right, gentlemen.
So think of power in Nigeria. A country like Ghana, there's no power outage.
Mr. Zukama,
yes.
1 second.
Okay.
Mr. Nzako, 1 second. We'll take a moment and listen to a very short statement by Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa.
Okay.
Then we'll come back and take off from there. The statement, please.
I wish to make our position plain beyond any matter of doubt as regards the African continent. We in Nigeria appreciate the advantages which the size of our country and of its population give us, but we have absolutely no aggressive intentions. We shall never impose ourselves upon any other country and shall treat every African territory, big or small, as our equal, because we honestly feel that it is only on that basis of equality that peace can be maintained in our continent.
Okay, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa talking about Nigeria in the context of Africa, the big brother, the gentle one. No
did you see that erudition? Did you see that presentation?
Mm-hmm. Is that what you still see today in our leadership?
No. Did you see that?
He was talking about leadership.
We are talking about Nigeria in the past 55 years and going forward. So it includes the era of Tafawa Balewa and the rest of them.
We have regressed from this era.
And then we have now moved on to the era of President Buhari. And then we are moving forward to the next president and whoever that will be. And I tell you that Nigeria is on the march.
Okay.
We may not have run as fast as you want, or you anticipate, or you expect, but know it that this is a nation, not an individual.
The standards were much higher in the 1960s. The standards were set by the white man. The Nigerians, despite all their limitations, aspired or tried to meet the white man's standards. So as of 1960, Nigeria was set to go somewhere. But repeatedly, consistently, we had poor quality leaders. Leaders were after the Tafawa Balewa, the Azikiwes, and Awolowos. The next set of leaders didn't know what they were doing. Not apart from that, they were greedy. They wanted to make money, punish their enemies and perceived enemies, not to lead the people. And since then, there's been this consistent degeneration in the quality of leadership and consequently in the quality of life and in the quality of everything in Nigeria, and it's been steady. So now we have regressed from where the Tafawa Balewas were to where we are now. Then there was no shortage of power. I remember when I was a kid, if power ever went up, which happened once in a long time.
What was our productive capacity in energy in the 60s, in power?
I don't have the figures.
You won't have the figures because the population has increased.
I don't. Why didn't
the
generative capacity increase?
By 1963 census, Nigeria was merely 50-something million.
And how much?
By 1973 census, Nigeria moved up to 60-something million.
And how much money
by
did we make?
2003 census, Nigeria had moved to 120, 130 million.
The question is asking is, how is it that the power generation was not increasing with the population?
Not keeping up. We've made much more money, invested much more investment in quotes.
By this time,
much
because
more in the power sector.
There has not been a population census. Nigeria figure by demographic estimation is over 170 million.
Okay.
That tells you that